Hello, my name is GM Lady Jane and welcome to my channel. Today we're talking about the Cozy Florist. It's a cute cottagecore game where you get to plant and harvest flowers and make friends all over the world. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, today we're going to be discussing Astral Fairies. You'll see when you first come into your game, up at this very top, there is the spirit draw. Star spirit draw. Sorry. When you go into it, this is how you start. I am going to make a side note here. This is where you spend some serious money in the game, and I have not done that because I'm a Leo, and when the time comes that is the star sign that we're using, I might end up caving, but for now, I haven't been interested enough in this to actually do anything with it, and I haven't wanted to spend this much money to be able to be involved in all of this stuff. So, if you don't want to spend real money, but you still want some fairies, you can do what they call pinching 4 of them per day from your friends for free. So just be forewarned. There's a lot of money to be spent in this area, right? So this is, like I said, is the Star Spirit Shop. You'll see right here that we are currently in Gemini. You'll see that it costs 1 flower stone to Dreamseek. I don't have any, obviously. You need to go into your Gemini pack right here to be able to purchase flower stones. You'll also notice that down here at the bottom there are weekly limits for some of the larger packs. Those reset on your server's midnight for Sunday every week. So depending on where you're playing at, that'll be different times for you. For me, that's about 6 o'clock in the evening on Saturday that those weekly limits would reset. The maximum amount it talks about here is 300 Dreamseeks in order to be able to get your Gemini. You can see down in here the reward previews. You'll notice that there is a red backed item. There's a bunch of yellow items. Then there's a few of the purple ones, and the rest are blue back. When you dream seek and you achieve one of these items at the percentage that it drops you, depending on the background of these, will tell you whether you're going to get a silver star or a gold star. Silver star is for anything that's blue, and gold stars are for anything that's above that blue, the purple, the yellow, and the red. And you'll be awarded those to be able to use down here in your Gemini shop. So you'll see you've got gold stars and silver stars, and that they can award you different things. So if you dream seek a bunch and you don't get the item that you want, you can purchase it, or you can use it to get some more diamonds, flower tickets, droplets, speed up tickets, or gold, depending on what you need. Anyways, yes, so you can get lots of good items from here at whatever the percentage is under the reward preview. Let's see. At the bottom, you'll notice that there's a collectible blind box. There we go. You will need a collectible to do this whole Astral Flowers. So you go ahead and you buy your blind box tickets at these prices, and it gives you a certain number of tickets to be able to go through and open one of these blind boxes. It also has a reward preview that tells you whatever your percentage is for the drops of those collectibles. And then you also have your collectible gallery, which I can show you a different way to get into that too in a minute. Pay attention, there is a time limit on these. There's also one on the spirit draw too. It's the same as this one. So you'll be able to get to your blind box stuff here. Then you can also choose to be a part of a Dreamseek for outfits. It has its preview for rewards, how to go about buying the Dreamseek feathers, and then also what to do with the this one is 4-leaf clovers that you can get from each time you Dreamseek. You also have Moon Lake Peony here. This one's a little easier if you don't want to spend a ton of money because it is just your diamonds. It also has 300. It has its preview here and the rewards that you can also get, which are stars as well, back in here. So there's a couple of different flowers in there, not just the Moon Lake Peony. If you notice, I do have a couple of these just because I thought I'm gonna really hunker down and get those 300 Dreamseeks to be able to get my Moon Lake Peony, and guess what? I didn't get it. I did, however, get the Pearl Magnolia, which I heard is extremely common to get, and even to get duplicates of that long before you ever get your actual Moon Lake Peony. So just take that into consideration when you're using your gems for that. You can get duplicates from any of the rewards for any of these, and that will just leave you with your stars to spend. Let's see. So, yep. If we go out of this, you'll be able to see that in this corner over here, there's a building labeled Astral. When you click on it, we can go into it and see all of our collectibles. You'll also be able to find the fairies that you've picked or pinched waiting to be dispatched here. You'll see the number that you've gathered. From either your personal garden or those from your friends. And then you can upgrade the number that you harvest from your own garden up to 30 if you buy the Astral Pass here. Each fairy takes 2 hours to dispatch with a maximum of 12 fairies per stack, so you can have a full 24 hours of dispatch with one stack. You'll be able to see here the collectibles that you own too under this cute little fairy standing here. So this is how else you can get to your collectibles, and it shows you across that whole tab all of the collectibles that you have been able to collect so far. And then you'll be able to see the flower that is associated with that collectible. Many of the flowers that they use for these collectibles are ones that you're going to have to go in and purchase. There's only a few that ever come up in the flower market, so that you can use your flower market tickets on them. So just know, that's your potential. Not only are you going to be buying the Dreamseeks to be able to get these collectibles, but then you're also going to be buying the flowers out of the flower pack in order to be able to go through the whole thing and get your fairy. Let's see. Yeah, very rarely do they ever use the uncommon flowers. You'll also be able to see here, under bonus, here is where you ask for assistance from friends to increase your bonuses. And every week, oh wait, hold on. 1 second. Yes, yeah. So the assistance, you can get up to 5 friends who will, once they click on it, it'll show their avatar in these little spaces. And that's to help you to get a bonus for, like it says, owning the star spirit, for it appearing, for those fairies appearing. Underneath the other section here, you can barely see it over the crown, double bonus. You'll notice that a certain collectibles are highlighted with their associated flowers, and that those ones get extra bonuses for just a week. And then it resets at your server's Sunday midnight to be able to go and have new collectibles in here with their associated flowers. So if you're trying to get the bonus here, then you can go in and collect those and just hold on to them until the double bonuses pops, and then you can dispatch those flowers, or those fairies, sorry. You can dispatch those when it has the double bonus instead of using them right away. So there's a little bit of strategy to that too. But when your friends do help you, you have to claim the bonus from them. You can't just leave it there. From what I gather anyways, right? Like, because I haven't done this, so. Anyways, if we go out of this, you'll see the Astral Shop here. When you're underneath it, you can see, this is where you spend your Star Spirit coins. So be warned that there is a countdown timer on this too. And it will reset all of what's available here. So if you're aiming for one of these and you haven't started as soon as things reset to obtain that, I've heard that it's already too late to get up as high as that for Star Spirit coins. So in 11 days, we'll see what the new high ticket item is. There's also the Starlight Shop in here too, with its associated prizes and things. So in order to spawn fairies, you have to have the Star Spirit flower, which is Gemini right now, and the flower associated with the collectible that you're trying to use. So you'll have your collectible here, you'll have your flower that you know. So you go in and you plant at least one plot on your farm out here. At least one of them has to be your Star Spirit flower. Then you want to go through and plant next to it the flower that's associated with the collectible. Of course, trying to aim for those, oh, not here. Trying to aim for the ones that are in that double bonus, whatever those flowers are, but whatever your collectible needs flower-wise, that's what you're ultimately going to be using. And then you'll want to plant many plots with that flower so that you have more chances for that fairy to spawn. So then go ahead and water those and harvest them. Fairies won't spawn when you water the plants. They'll spawn when the plant regrows, not when it's first, like the first growth that you very first initial get after you water it. It has to be that second spawn. So if you've upgraded your flower to get 2 harvests from it or 3 harvests from it, that's really where you want to be, because the regrowth is where you can get that fairy from. And then you'll have something that pops up and informs you, pardon me, I pushed the wrong button, how many you can still harvest fairy-wise that day when you collect one. So when you're not paying for it and you want to go ahead and harvest from a friend, you'll have to go down either on your little guy here or this one, and find a friend who has that setup. They've got their one plot that has their Star Spirit flower, and then they've got all the other plots with the associated flowers. And then you're going to go in and you're going to collect the flower like you normally would when you visit a friend's farm. You just look at the ones that have the little hand on them and see if they have it. Some people I've seen on World Chat will go in and say, hey, I just planted my astrals, and they want you to P and D, so pick and delete them as a friend so that other people can get onto their friend list and have a chance to go in and pick those 4 fairies they get that day. So if you're not going to pay for it, just be watching the World Chat or your language chat. But if you are going to pay for it, you can let other people know if you want to. That way, or you can just share it in your guild. It depends on however you want to play that. But you don't just get it from people having those types of flowers out there. They have to have that one Star Spirit flower planted on their ground with the flower that's attached to the collectible. So I hope that helps. If I missed anything, please feel free to tell me in the comments below and help other people along, because this is deeply confusing, right? The little how-to guide that they have here Doesn't give you a ton of information. It does tell you your spawn rates, of course. Whoa, what did I just do here? It gives you your spawn rates. There it is. So that's helpful. And it does kind of give you a small rundown of what's going on in your, if you're picking from a friend. But still, not a ton of information for something that seems so big in the game. But yeah, if you found any of this helpful, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button and let me know if you want more content like this. If not, I will just see you next time, I guess, right? Signing out.